Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to take a look at Journey Together, specifically the reveals from Battle Partners. We've already looked at the cards that are coming from the Starter Deck Generations card. Looked at those in a previous First Impressions video. We're going to skip ahead to the trainer cards. The trainer cards, of course, have some of the context for us, so we're going to jump there first. If you'd like to follow along with us, we are on justinbasil.com. Go to justinbasil.com, click on What's Next, and then click on Card Translations under Journey Together, and you'll be right with us. Up first, we are going to look at Brock's Scouting. Brock's Scouting is a supporter card from Battle Partners. It says, choose one. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Or, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
I've actually been having fun with this in the testing I've been doing,
So you've already been testing this card. How do you feel good about it?
I do honestly feel good about it. I just have it as a 2 of in my deck right now. I know like some people don't like it as a 2 of, but my reasoning for that is Bidoof. Because if I get item locked and I can't use Ultra Ball to go get my evolution, I can just use Brox to go get it.
If we go into a format with a very strong Bidoof presence, literally everybody's winning as a one-off, it could see play.
I think it's just a solid card.
I think it's pretty decent in general too.
I think it's a really strong card in general, or a pretty decent card. But I just like it because it honestly just gets around the Bidoof.
My only issue with this card is it completely edges out Jock, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. I think one thing I like about it though, actually that makes it Jock bad and Eternal too.
Yeah.
One thing I really like about this card though is that it helps signal to me that maybe Pokemon is planning to shift more toward a supporter heavy format for search.
Yeah.
Which I kind of hope they're doing. Maybe just getting my hopes up and maybe this is just another Jock, but maybe. They've also to me it feels increasingly like they're gearing more and more toward a versus seeker friendly format.
Yeah, we had a conversation earlier about that. I think Ruffian alone is proof to me that they're trying to lean towards at least a very supporter heavy format, and that versus seeker would fit very well into these one-of supporters that tend to be reused in these niche situations.
Yeah, obviously we have Miraculous Headset, which is not versus seeker in any way, shape, or form.
Versus seeker,
but
at home.
if actually versus seeker home, right? But versus seeker, actual versus seeker coming back, seems like more and more of a possibility with cards like this one.
I feel like versus seeker would be too strong. Just having access to Ruffian just to.
I think that's the
I was gonna say, if it comes back, I need to make sure I have my 4 gold ones.
Yeah, if ever it does, and it could as well not, but I think we're getting to a point where it could be friendly enough for it to be able to. Up next, after that, of course, is going to be Exchange Ticket. Exchange Ticket is an item card from Battle Partners. It says, after counting your prize cards, shuffle them and put them at the bottom of your deck. Then take that many prize cards from the top of your deck and put them face down as your prize cards.
This one's mostly just because Heavy Ball's rotating. I feel like they're giving us another prize exchange or sort of.
This card feels like it could be broken as hell in Eternal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fonty will find something to do with it.
No, especially with how much you can actually manipulate your top
We're
deck.
gonna probably have to do some preliminary testing for this card to.
Yeah, for sure.
And is there a niche deck for the Chansey?
In Eternal, I don't know if it'd be
Well,
niche.
not necessarily in Eternal, but even in Standard,
in Standard, I mean maybe.
Because the Chansey is 151, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, they could totally do something with that. Because Academy at Night, is a thing in Standard. So
you can put it on if you can manipulate the top of the deck pretty easily, with the crypto, you can literally
Cypher Maniacs as well.
Yeah.
It is an item, so you can do both.
If you do both, can you put 2 Chanseys and assure 2 Chanseys in your price? Does a Chansey
because it doesn't tell you have to shuffle the cards. You can put the prices down in any order you want, I guess.
Yeah.
So take that many prize cards off
the chances where they're going to be taken.
I mean, sure.
This just makes checkmate Chansey so much easier in Eternal.
I agree.
Well, I mean, Naganada's already been hit in Eternal, so it's not actually that easy anymore. But it is still possible.
Can you pull up the Chansey text real quick? Just want to make sure is there something? Because I feel like that would be a little bit too strong. Why did they build this?
It's just flip a coin when you take it as a prize card if heads take another prize, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
If tails, you lose the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not how that works.
If tails, your opponent takes a prize card. Smile.
I mean, it's still a flip, so I mean,
After that, we have Hop's Bag. Hop's Bag is an item card that says search your deck for 2 basic Hops Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck.
That card is.
I like
stupid.
this.
yeah, that's insane.
That card's.
All of the hop support just.
Yeah, the hop
Buzzwole.
is just insane.
Yeah, it definitely smells of Buzzrock.
Can somebody tell me why they gave Hop the support and not a good character?
You know, I've been wondering that myself. They could have given it to Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have given it to
No,
Cynthia.
no. See, when Lily got her own stuff going
Well,
on.
we don't know what we're
I mean,
getting
good,
with Cynthia
good Cynthia.
yet.
Oh, they could have given it to Cynthia.
They literally gave it to Wish.com. How?
They give Cynthia's Garchomp like, oh, they make it to
Hop
us
is
like,
Wish.com how,
if
but what the
this
heck is
knocks
how?
out,
How
they're
is-
gonna give Cynthia's Garchomp a tool, being like, if this knocks out an active rule box, we're gonna take an additional price card.
I wouldn't
No.
even put it past them.
How is AliExpress silver? No. So that's a good character. Barry. There we go.
Alex was very right.
AliExpress Barry.
Speaking of Hop Support continues here with Hop's Choice Band. Hop's Choice Band says, when the Hop's Pokemon this card is attached to use an attack, the attack costs 1 colorless energy less and does 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance.
What kind of support would you like? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that stench of Mew, right?
Yeah.
It's there. It's
That's I mean, oh, cool. Let's give it one or the other. No, let's give it both.
I mean, I'm fine with this.
I am not fond of how much support they gave Hop, but it's okay. I'm sure the deck will be fine either way. Up next is the supporter card Iris's Fighting Spirit. Iris's Fighting Spirit reads, discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand.
Decent draw, but not in this current format. But
I
that might, if we lose enough draw cards, this might be used.
because they haven't updated research's regulation mark yet,
They haven't.
so it's completely possible that this replaces it. And I think it's not a bad option. Like, it's okay. I think it's better than Morty's.
But again, we're just talking about this. They haven't really refreshed regulations for
Now,
anything.
you
for
know, you know
right?
No.
what's gonna be the savior? Tofu.
For Kofu.
that. Anyways,
I know. And Iris's Fighting Spirit does not seem like a bad card. It's kind of just a step up for like Karina, because Karina was draw to 6. This lets you discard first, which is very good, I think.
I could have just made it Claydol on a supporter. Put 2 cards from your hand.
That would have been very good.
and again, very specific cards where you want to keep pretty much half your hand and like, hey, but I need something in the discard pile.
I would have been fine with Cosmic Power on a supporter.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we have Ino, which is fairly similar, but yeah.
Yeah, but both.
Up next is the stadium card called Levincia. Levincia is a support card that says once during each player's turn, that player may put up to 2 basic lightning energy cards from their discard pile into their hand. This is Mount Coronet, is what it is, and it does lightning energy instead of metal.
I honestly wonder if this replaces the stadiums that get played in Magnezone Bucks for Eternal. And you can use a different Magneton.
Which stadium does Magnezone play in Eternal?
It's really just Thunder
Stormy
Mountain
Mountain.
and Stormy Mountain, yeah. But you could, I mean, it gets you the lightning energy back to just
He
put
plays
it down.
Thunder Mountain and Storm.
That's right. I mean, I think it still wants both of those.
I mean, it's possible. I just think that like you could switch Magnetons in that case if you run it.
It runs Miraidon, right?
Well,
so
'cause
like,
Remember with the Magnezone box, you're not actually discarding the energy; you're lost zoning it.
Well, yes,
Well,
no.
Your attack, you can attack with anything in the deck. Magnezone is not necessarily.
Yeah,
the
but-
attack.
It's the
like-
last ditch hope.
Yeah.
Stormy Mountain seems a little redundant with Miraidon, also, doesn't it?
I mean,
It's to get Maridon.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Up next is Lily's Pearl. Lily's Pearl is a tool card.
Stupid.
Hello,
That-
life do.
Hi. It's a tool card that says if the Lily's Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an opponent's Pokemon's attack, your opponent takes 1 fewer prize card.
This card's a problem.
It very well, it may well be a problem, but Lily's archetype as a whole does seem fairly weak. So what do we think?
I don't know
Jamming towers forever.
Jamming Tower is going to have to be played a lot more for this to
Especially
actually...
with the loss of Lost Vacuum.
Yeah, and Ruffian is not nearly good enough, especially without Versus Seeker, to combat this sort of effect. And the fact that we have freaking like Life Dew as a 4 of in decks now, that's insane. That's quite
The thing
insane.
is, this can literally be played on what 5 total Pokemon.
I don't think it matters because you can like do ping damage or like the small amounts of damage that they do enough times to like win by the time they've taken maybe 2 prize cards.
Should have this been Lily exclusive ace spec.
There are no more ace
Yeah,
specs.
they're done with ace specs.
Oh,
But,
really?
I don't know. I think that unless Versus Seeker ends up getting reprinted, that this card's gonna be a problem.
I mean, it's entirely possible that Versus Seeker comes in Scarlet Violet 10.
I would love that.
I would love that too.
Because this thing, like, people are gonna for like the ones that this will be legal with Lost Vacuum, like people are actually gonna start running Lost Vacuum, and maybe up to 2 copies of it just to deal with it.
Yeah. Too bad they can't run Lost Vacuum. Because it goes bye-bye when this
It
comes
won't
out.
be in format.
Nope.
Oh, I thought it'll be format for like
No.
L1.
Nope.
Nope.
They rotate. It rotates the same day
Oh,
this
yeah,
comes into
no,
format.
This is a problem. This is a problem for sure.
Uh,
Lost Vacuums.
Nom, nom,
It
nom.
is.
Next up is Inn's Stadium, Inn's Castle from Battle Partners. Each Inn's Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's, has no retreat costs.
I like this.
It's
I-
good.
I especially with the oh my god, I'm blanking on the monkey's name. Not the Mako, the other one.
Darmanitan?
Yeah, that thing. If you have that in active, it's 3 retreat costs, but with this, it becomes a free retreat cost. Like it is
It is a stadium.
really fun, especially with Ref Ram also.
It's been stuff like this has been very good in the past,
And
though.
I would like to say Ruffian does not remove stadiums.
That's
So,
rough.
yeah, I was gonna mention like
We don't
stadiums
have
seem to be
stadiums.
sticking around a lot
We have
longer now.
Chen Pao is our stadium removal.
So
Well,
are we just gonna
we
have to
have to
play
choose.
higher counts of stadiums to stadium bump?
You,
or
you
by
know,
Chen
you
Pao.
know that one of Punkaboo that everybody
Yeah.
kept running.
Chen
It's
Pao is
gonna
gonna
be
be
the one of
Punkaboo.
Chen Pao.
Yeah.
It's
be.
gonna be that.
If it has to, it has to. I think it's good. I don't think there's much else to say about Inn's Castle. It's just good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this one though.
Inn's PP up.
That's part of the set.
I hope
Just-
it gets a gold so bad.
That's part of the set.
Inn's PP up is an item card that says attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Inn's Pokemon.
It's good. It's solid. It's powering up your Zoroark in one turn.
Well, it's not. You can also power up Reshiram.
But why would you?
The second attack,
Second attack
Well,
does what?
170.
Nah.
I mean, in a pinch.
Well, then you can also do the Darmanitan because you can with Manaphy rotating if there's not like bench protection, you can hit the active for 90 and then snipe something for 90 on the bench.
And we have now seen all of Journey Together. There will not be bench protection coming in the set as basic.
That seems so bad.
Yeah.
So
At least Rad Ninja's rotating.
yeah, I mean, I think they're
the whole lost spot.
I think they're really hoping that R'hllor takes over the bench protection spot,
No way.
but I don't think that it can.
I think
Cancel
the only
rotates
decks
too.
that could actually use R'hllor effectively would be like TM Evolution decks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Up next is another stadium card. This stadium card is for Hop. Postwick says the attacks of Hop's Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, do 30 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance.
Hop just wants to literally hit big numbers.
Hop seems like an abusive stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, you get the value of the card on your turn attacking. So even
Yeah.
if they bump it, it doesn't.
You've still gotten a benefit out of it if you haven't
Yeah.
wasted it.
I want to build Hop for Eternal.
I think Hop would be good in Eternal.
I think Cop would be good in standard.
Hop's deck with powerful energy.
Can somebody please tell me why they used Hop? Like that's literally this deck seems
Because
to get all the
they
things.
wanted to make you salty.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then after that, we have Ruffian, which is a card we mentioned earlier. Ruffian is a supporter card that says discard a Pokemon tool and a special energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon.
Do you guys think if I have Red Durst, the heal signed it for me?
Huh?
Red Durst. You guys are kids, I swear to. Never mind. Limp Bizkit.
No.
Am I showing my age?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
This card does not seem good enough to replace Lost Vacuum.
You know,
It's
this,
good.
No, you know this card reminds me of, and you're gonna explain at first until I explain. It reminds me of Miriam.
Like a card that seems like it could be good, but not really.
And sees play for like a set before the good card comes out.
Yeah.
I can see it being
Yeah.
Miriam.
That's what it feels like.
What do you think that the
Because
good card is going to be designed as?
I have it as
Tool Scrapper?
I have it literally just as a one of in the deck right now.
I think they could reprint Tool Scrapper. They could reprint Field Blower. They could decide to create some new card that's similar. Like in my custom set, I basically did Field Blower, but it's only one.
Can
So-
we reprint Windstorm so I can use my reverse ones?
No.
Do we have a reliable supporter search?
Luminion rotates.
Yeah, correct.
We do, but it's on an evolution.
Oh, it's on Pelipper. Right?
Pelipper.
Yeah.
Helper. Well, stage 1 at least.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
But is that on play?
well, actually no.
On
Is
evolution.
Pelipper
Yes.
from the discard?
Both.
It's both. It can
Oh,
be
okay.
either. Or.
It's either
That-
Versus Seeker or deck.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's either one.
It'll probably see play.
It probably will. I think
Pelipper.
it's interesting. At least
Do you think it would be like a 1/1 line?
Like, it's a good card.
talking about
But
Roxanne.
I don't
Well,
know
no.
if like it's the only thing we have, I guess.
it's genuinely going to be the card that if we need it kind of card. Next up is Super Potion.
Hey.
Super Potion was last seen in XY Evolutions.
Oh wow, that long ago.
Yes, it
And
was.
only because it was a reprint, right?
Yep,
Like, what
it
was
was
the
a reprint from
not counting XY Evolutions? What was the last time?
probably like XY.
But was it
Yeah.
in format in XY?
I believe so. Let's find out.
It was the Flashfire card, right?
Yeah, XY base set.
Oh, I was close.
Oh, well, I missed that one. But before that, it was base set, right?
Before that, it was base set 2,
Base set. Well,
and then base set.
yeah. But yeah, like I missed that one. I didn't play during that era.
Now
But,
you're showing your age.
but Super Potion, guys, it was great back in the day.
Was it though?
Yeah, so is energy removal too.
Can we have those back?
No.
Crushing Hammers is format. It's fine.
So Super Potion, I think it's too niche, and I think it's probably not enough for what it is.
What's the
Unfortunately,
option?
Heal
Now
60 is like nothing.
Yeah, nowadays it's not great.
yeah. Unfortunately, Super Potion is probably gonna be one of those cards that finds its way into a beginner deck or two, and that's it.
Now,
Can we get a
Mac-
gold for it?
I hope so. Honestly, just to mess with people. Up next, and the last of the non-Pokemon cards, is Spike Energy. Spike Energy says as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides colorless energy. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an opponent's attack, even if it's knocked out, put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. This is Horror Psychic Energy, but for colorless.
Can I put this in a raid deck?
You're funny. So I mean, it's essentially a Lycanroc energy, right? Like,
I mean, we'll talk about that when we get to Lycanroc, but
yeah.
I don't think it's that good.
Like outside of that one deck, like it seems like an energy card designed for that one deck, and that's it.
Maybe we'll find a good use for it in the future, or maybe Hop decides that it wants to run it for extra damage. I just don't-
Why? It already has all the damage it needs.
But it needs like 2
Look,
counters.
it's that 10 damage that makes a difference, okay?
Play
Well,
Dust
20 in
Box.
this case. Yeah, I don't love it. It's one of those cards. It still feels like they're designing for Lugia.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Look
now
at
that we've seen the trainers and the special energy for this set, it's time now to begin looking at the Pokemon in Battle Partners, the cards that will, of course, be added to our Journey Together set in March. We are not going to sugarcoat the Pokemon that suck. We're going to skim through them because, frankly, they're just not worth looking at. So, unfortunately, Caterpie, as much as I love you, goodbye. Metapod and Butterfree is going to be very much the same thing.
But come on,
Parasect.
Can we at least try Butterfree? But I feel like Butterfree is a good little niche deck to take to locals.
How do you mean?
Single energy attachment, flip 4 coins,
No.
possible 240 output, and if you get 2 of those heads, which
Okay.
is 50% of the
Let
time,
me stop you right here.
uh-huh.
What is your luck?
So 0.
Okay, so here's
What is my luck?
here's
240 internal
here's the
ones.
keyword. Flip 4 coins.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that flip word That's a keyword that says
That's why it's a local
No.
deck.
no.
Well, that's why I told him he'll hit 0, I'll hit max.
Okay, and again, hitting 2 is paralysis. Not auto paralysis, but I feel like it's good.
Just run Weavile. Weavile Blaziken, just run that.
Anyway,
Look,
Paris and Parasect are also not very good, unfortunately. They are bulk. Lilican's great, but it's not from this set. Maractus is also bulk. Carablast is bulk. Fungus and Amogus are not good, but they're also not from this set. Shelmet is bulk. A Celgor, I think, is worth talking about. Even though it's not amazing, I think it's still worth talking about. A Celgor has an attack called Ephemeral Poison for grass colors that does 70 damage and says, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused and poisoned. Switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon.
I think
Hit and run?
this could have been even more crazy if it was just a single grass.
Oh, I would have loved it if it were single grass.
Like, if it was honestly a single grass, that would have been
A
really
Celgor
cool.
traditionally like a hit and run deck with
Very
single
hit and run.
grass.
Yep.
But
This is like counter energy.
If it was one grass, I think like this would be fun in 3, 4, 5.
but again, we have counter gain in.
We have counter gain. We don't have counter energy. I don't want counter energy so bad. We have counter gain. We have Dusclops, Dustmore that could trigger to force the counter gain to be active.
I'm a big fan of like hit and run decks. Like put a Klefki out, disrupt them. Fluttermane if like it's
Put a Lily's Pokemon with a pearl on it.
yeah, that's very true.
I don't know. It seems like it's like not amazing, but it seems not bad. And like
It's
you
like
said,
in that
3,
middle
4,
ground.
5, and 3, 4, 5, I think it also could be pretty decent.
Ooh, hold on. What about like as a partner for Thorns?
No.
I mean, you just rather attack with thorns.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because you're able to like just loop thorns enough. Like
Just quad thorns
Yeah,
specifically.
it's just better just quad thorn.
I mean, I like the 70. I like the and again Thorns can get free retreat with the capsule. So
Unfortunately, Durant is not from the set, so we can skip that. Verzian also not from the set. We have Sprigatito, Floragato, and finally Meowscarada. Meowscarada is a Pokemon from Battle Partners. It has an ability called Showtime. Once during a turn, you may use this ability. If this Pokemon is on the bench, switch it with your active Pokemon.
It's got Russian.
And then Rising Bloom does 90 plus damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, this attack does 90 more damage. So you can do 180 for 2 energy.
I do like that it is just 2 colorless energy.
We have yet another Zard killer.
Can I just say for the record that I would love Twin Energy back?
Twin energy.
Make it with Roblox wording instead of VGX. But
Oh wait, no. Double turbo rotates.
it does.
yes, it
Correct.
does.
This is colorless, but
Yeah.
different. Like
Womp
effectively is too.
Yeah, it doesn't seem bad in a slower format. But
Maybe
unfortunately,
once the format slows down, if it indeed it is.
if it slows down for
Yeah.
real, yeah. As is though, it's probably just not good enough. We have Magmortar. Magmortar has the ability Magma Surge. During Pokemon Checkup, put 3 more damage counters on your opponent's burned Pokemon. Then it has the attack Searing Flame, which does 90 damage, and does the effect Flip a Coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned.
I don't like it for the energy cost.
So they do seem to have a burning archetype here, right? Like with
There is
Volcanion.
definitely a burning archetype, and
Yeah.
with Volcanion. When we get to Volcanion, I
Could
think we
you
should talk about it.
imagine this and the poison with cloth?
Also, kind of remembering that Magmortar counts as a stage 1 since Magmar is technically a base.
So it does, but you can
Actually-
totally make it work.
Wait, let me look something up for Caleb real quick.
So here's the thing. Here's what you do. This is what you do,
Yeah.
Caleb or Christian. You ready for this? Okay.
Yeah.
You throw Volcanion in the active spot. Burn the fuck out of that bitch. Okay.
Tiamigo?
Tiamigo.
That's insane, honestly.
Yeah. So
Okay, Caleb,
Hmm.
that with Eternal.
Yeah, I've been looking at that card for a while.
okay, up next.
Can we get
Yeah,
a real
with
proxy roll
that's
there?
team play. That's team play actually. Just talking about Flareon Star. Inzdar Manitan has the attack Backdraft for double colorless. Backdraft does 30 times damage. It does 30 damage for each energy card in your opponent's discard pile. This is also known as a Screw You Sarah Ledge card. And then there is Darmanic Cannon, which does 90 damage. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. This attack also does 90 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for benched Pokemon.
Again, the
I
fact
like
that the PPM works on this thing is disgusting.
I love it.
If you play your Cerulege against my Zork, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't need to work on this guy. It just needs to work on Zorak.
Mm-hmm.
Because you attach 2 darkness energy to Zorak, copy
Well,
this attack.
I could even just like attack with this. Like I don't have to attack with Zork.
But you
Just-
can attack with Zorak
I can
for less
attack with
energy.
Zork, but like, well, no, it's still the same energy. Zork has 2 energy.
Backdraft is 2.
3.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Cerulege.
Backdraft.
I'm talking about the Cerulege.
He's talking about the matchup between Cerulege and like ends.
Yeah, you can literally just attack with this with the Cerulege matchup, and just get them a 1 prizer.
I mean, yeah, for that.
Yeah. When I read that, I was mad. I was definitely
When I read that, I was like, "Oh, I'm immediately throwing 3 of these in the deck."
mad.
But yeah, I think this Darmanitan is quite good. I think it's absolutely going to see play.
Sorry for that. So, do you think the Dramatic Cannon is better or worse than the Backdraft?
It's situational.
Which one, like different situation, different.
Yeah, I mean, Darmanican is very much meant to be like a toned down version of Greninja. Radiant Greninja is a little on the overtuned side, to put it nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think putting it on a stage 1 and making it so that you don't get to pick both targets is better.
Yeah,
It-
'cause Greninja was so oppressive.
Yeah, no
It is
kidding.
So oppressive.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Speaking of fun cards, not necessarily impressive cards, but fun cards. This is our partner for Magmortar we talked about earlier.
Mhm.
Volcanion has the ability Scorching Steam. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon burned. And then Heat Cyclone for double fire colorless. Does 160 damage. Move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon.
And just like a little refresher, because honestly, burn, I keep it's one of those statuses that like have very specific stuff. So can you give us a refresher on burn condition?
So burn, the way it works is your opponent, or the burned Pokemon, I should say, takes the 20 damage. Then they flip a coin. If heads, they're no longer burned. If tails, they remain burned, and they're going to keep flipping each time Pokemon checkup comes up to see. Well, they'll take the damage, and then they'll flip to see if they recover from the burn.
So Magmortar would also stack, right?
Yes, it would.
So you would have 2, 3, 3. Those automatic 80
80. Yes.
if you have 2 Magmortar.
Yeah.
And you know, the setup turn obviously thinking about Volcanion or just anything doing TM Evo, but you really don't want to leave Volcanion up in the active in the real, playing of it.
You just switch it out of active.
Yeah. Which again, Volcanion EX can Latias will just give it
Latias will get it there. Yep.
free retreat. So yeah, I mean that's insane. Who's the actual attacker though? Also, did we do Magmortar itself?
I don't think
No.
so. I just don't know who it would be. Because the first Pokemon that came to mind was Moltres, but that's rotating. So.
But you know what I just realized though? We technically don't even need the fire energy in here. It could just go into a different deck.
I do want to talk about the next one for a different
Right?
format.
You see what I mean? Like Magmortar and Volcanion just worked on their own without energy, so you can do it
Yeah.
in a different deck and just have like a single price attacker.
Yeah, single price attacker. And it is just a big boost of damage. All right, our next card here is Articuno. Articuno has the attack Chilling Wings. Search your deck for up to 2 basic water energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. And then for water colorless, Ice Blast has 110.
I do think that this is a card that could actually see play in GLC.
Why do you think so?
So GLC, like there's usually like the first turn or two, you're trying to set stuff up as attackers, but you're also having to go till like turn 3 before you get your stage 2ers, so like you have your squishy stuff still. As whereas this, if you go first, or if you're going first as second player, or if you go second, if you're player 2, you can attach, accelerate, and then they evolve into their stage 1s, and then you can go ahead and start knocking them out on the following turn.
To me, I just feel like there's probably, even in GLC, I think there might be better use of deck space. It doesn't.
I'm not too familiar with like what
Well,
water brings to the table, but it just doesn't seem strong enough.
Like almost every deck in GLC, there are so many different variants that people have like just come up with. So like I could see this in like a good aggro GLC water deck
If you
where
were using an aggro art, wouldn't you use like the Articuno from Pokemon Go or something?
actually it depend, like early aggro Articuno was actually the one where when it took a knockout you took an extra prize card.
Okay, that would work too. I also think that would also be better. I just feel like there are several Articuno you'd rather run. Because there's also the one that does the energy moving.
I mean, I still think that this one could see play as a attacker, just because of its number.
Up next is Remoraid. Remoraid has an evolution in Octillery. Octillery. We can talk about Octillery. Aqua Wash isn't awful. Not good either, but Aqua Wash does 20 damage. It says you may put an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon into their hand. And then Octopus Beatdown does 90 times damage. Flip a coin until you get tails. This is Christian's favorite card already. And it does 90 damage for each heads. 90 damage is not awful if you can get more than a couple heads, but I just don't think I can.
See, why would you get it wrong? All I'm saying is I hate the ones that literally is until you get tails, because you know you're going to get the first one as tails.
Hi.
At least Butterfree gives you 4 assured.
But this one goes however many. It's infinite.
Not for me, it ain't.
Like, do we need to bring up my game with Dialga level X against Tiff?
Okay, up next is Vital Samba Lucario. Ludicolio.
This is the GLC card.
This is very much a GLC card. Might see play in Standard and even Eternal too, but definitely a GLC card. It has the ability Vital Samba, which says each of your Pokemon in play gets plus 40 HP. The effect of Vital Samba does not stack.
Screamtail? Screamtail outfit?
Why Screamtail?
I'm just saying, like, gives it more HP so you can, like, put more stuff on it, but...
After refinement.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm trying to find a good use for it in Standard. I mean, plus 40 HP is good, but it's a stage 2. Like, is it worth setting up a stage 2 just for that plus 40?
How tall do you want your brick?
That's my point. My point is, it's not worth it.
I don't think it's worth it either, but it's still worth looking at and worth considering. Maybe not right away, but there could be a format where it's good in Standard.
Even 345.
345, it could be amazing, frankly. Yeah, and 345 would be a very good card.
345, was it Y?
345 wide now. Yeah, 345 wide has a lot of support for water, and you could do some crazy stuff with it. And then we have another GLC friend here. We have Wailord. Okay. Wailord for 4 colorless energy has the attack Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump does 10 plus damage. This attack does 50 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon.
So might as well read what? What is that? 210?
Honestly, I can honestly even see Steven maybe building this as a Eternal Water deck.
240 HP on
Yeah,
like literally forgo Chen Pao, literally just commit Deluge, and this.
So is Ludicolo just meant to boost up Wailord to 280?
Maybe. Maybe. Then you just get live do an Eternal to loop it in endlessly and make it never get knocked out for real. And you
Honestly,
just straight up with Frostmoth.
I kind of want to build a Wailord deck in Eternal.
I think you could. It'd be fun. I know Steven was trying to make it work for a while, but it never did.
Yeah, but this
I think it might be a better one.
Well, this Wailord, like if we just like honestly sat down with Steven and we built this with like the Deluge, like I think.
I don't think we even need a Deluge. I think we could go Frostmoth.
Yeah, I think Frostmoth would be better in that case.
I don't know. It's definitely a GLC friendly card. Could be an Eternal friendly card. In Standard though, I don't think it sees play.
Unfortunately, not 345.
Yeah.
And it's not legal in 345.
What do you mean it's not?
It has 240 HP. It's stage 1, sir.
There you go. The
It
four
meets the
matches up.
four. Yeah, the four.
It's got 100 extra HP for that stage. That's a bit much.
Hey, all I hear is 3,
I
4,
don't- I
and
don't
5. Those
think
are the only
Phalanx-
numbers we're using.
I don't even think Phalanx would like that.
Okay, so
All right.
let's go to read the next card.
Next one is Iono's Electrode. This is the worst one. Iono's Electrode is worth talking about because it's an Iono's Pokemon, but probably that's the only reason rather. It also does have free retreat, which might be useful for her. It has Heart Pounding Bomb, which does 100 damage to itself. Then you flip a coin. If it's heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out.
Okay, so let's read the good card.
It has free retreat, okay.
Hey, I like it for Eternal.
Iono's Voltorb. We're just skipping over that one.
In Joltik, Crackling Shot does 30 damage. Before doing damage, discard all Pokemon tool cards from your opponent's active Pokemon. If you discarded a Pokemon tool in this way, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed.
So there's not a Galvantula?
There is not.
No.
Huh.
He's so tiny.
He is so pretty.
So to me, this reeks of a counter.
Yeah.
Is that the highest HP Joltik we've ever gotten?
I think.
Yeah,
It might be actually.
So hold on. I actually meant this. There wasn't a joke about the Voltorb or anything, but it's not worth looking at. Because I always pictured this as a early game attacker for the Iono deck.
I brain no Voltorbs we're talking about, and my brain melted, or whatever's in my head melted.
You thought pivot.
I saw pivot and went there. I know Voltorb is we're talking about. We'll go back to that. It has Chain Bolt, 20 plus damage. This attack does 20 more damage for each lightning energy attached to your Iono's Pokemon.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
There
So
are definitely a lot more Joltiks with 40 HP. There's a 50 HP Joltik.
oh really?
Yeah.
But yeah. So the Voltorb, and again in my head I'm just picturing Iono throwing Voltorbs at the opponent while she's charging up Belly Bolt.
That's very Iono for me. Let's talk about why that Voltorb might work. She has Iono's Belly Bolt EX with the ability Electric Streamer. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach basic lightning energy for card from your hand to one of your Iono's Pokemon. And then for Lightning colorless, Thunderous Bolt does 230 damage. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon cannot attack.
It's insane.
It's crazy energy acceleration.
Yeah.
It's Rain Dance on a stage 1.
For specifically Iono's Pokemon.
You know, for whatever reason, I cannot read because yes, it's Rain Dance, and I just realized it's Rain Dance because I was thinking one more accelerator per turn, and I'm like, oh no, that says as often as you like during your turn.
Yeah.
Oh no, on a stage 1.
Yep, on stage 1.
Oh no.
Speaking of awesome things, let's talk about some of my favorite Pokemon here. Wattrel and Kilowattrel, specifically Kilowattrel.
And- Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Iono's Kilowattrel has an ability called Flash Draw. You must discard a basic lightning energy card from this Pokemon in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. And then Mach Bolt for lightning double colors does 70 damage.
So as long as you have Belly Bolt out, of course, that is effectively you drop it into it.
you
Yeah.
don't even necessarily have to have it out as long as you have energy in hand.
Yeah. So, and again, I just realized that effectively, I don't know, like the Electric Streamer from the Belly Bolt, it's actually better than Rain Dance because it locks, anybody else out of it, right? Oh, well, no. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about.
What?
I'm not talking. I'm dumb.
But one thing I do like about Iono's Kilowattrel is it kind of makes you resilient against decks that would try to Ion you to 1, which is especially interesting because this is Iono's deck.
Yeah.
So it's like her control over her own card.
Could you imagine if it had free retreat
I might cry.
as a draw supporter?
I might cry. It's a 1 retreat, which is already pretty good for a draw
Yeah.
supporter. But
It might as well be like literally if you have an energy in hand, just drop it on, and if you have
It's
Belly
true.
Bolt out.
yeah, it's
Just get
good.
it back with Levincia too.
Also true. We have Clefairy EX, Lily's Clefairy EX to be more precise, which has the ability Fairy Zone. The weakness of each of your opponent's dragon Pokemon in play is now Psychic. Apply weakness as ×2. And then for Psychic Colorless, Full Moon Rondo. This attack does 20 more damage for each benched Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's.
Guys, Fairy Rory's back in the game. Woohoo.
Honestly, I like the Rondo's attacks, and at least we're keeping one around.
It's 20 plus 20.
Yeah, it's the Suicune, Entei, Raikou.
So
Yeah.
it's about that same range.
Yeah, so it's just a
I mean,
psychic
it's-
Rondo.
It's got low HP.
It does have low
It's
HP.
got a okay ability if Dragapult stays good.
I mean, it won't with that.
I literally think that this card alone is gonna make Dragapult not be played.
The biggest thing, the biggest advantage to this card, I think, is Lily's Pearl.
Well, it's not only Lewis Pro, but it's also like just, oh, let me hold it into my hand so it can't be disrupted. Boom, you played against something, I can just play it down. Attack. It's a basic.
I do wonder how you're powering this up, though.
Crying.
Is this a Dustmar counter game?
I
kind
mean,
of thing?
it's psychic colorless. Crispin always works.
It's true.
Yeah.
If you mess, I just feel like I'd be tempted to Dustmar, or at least Dusclops.
Here's a question.
No.
Probably not. But either way, is there like a world where we do, was it the PP up and play like a one of just to kind of create an engine with energy switch?
No.
Too much? Doing too much?
Too
Do I need to
That's
remind
corrupted
you of
you.
your Urshifu Iron Valiant deck idea?
It wasn't bad.
All right. Up next is Bayonet. Bayonet has the attack Cursed Speech. Your opponent shuffles 3 cards from their hand into their deck.
I like this card.
And then Spooky Shot for Psychic Colorless does 70 damage. This card feels like to me what happens after you've used your supporter for the turn to take them down to 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, you did things to my family.
Can we ask
And I would like
that shop at art?
Oh, it's very creepy. I love it.
No, I was meaning the shop at art.
The shop it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's so
He's
silly.
so funny.
You know what he looks like?
Iroh.
When Iroh has a blep.
Me when I
Yeah.
see Popeyes.
Caleb, when he realized there was a
No,
podcast.
I was talking about, okay, so Bayonet's art, though, is so creepy, and I love it.
It's the souls of its victims.
Right. All those who've never had Popeyes.
Also, this is the first psychic Beldum line we've gotten in a while, right?
In a while, yeah.
And I'm mad about that because I wanted a Metagross that didn't suck.
It's not bad.
This actually isn't that bad.
No, but here's sorry. Let me clarify. For the Metang that accelerates metal energy, because
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah, like cool. Now I have a Metagross that doesn't suck. Guess what? It uses psychic energy.
They're like, oh yeah, now that Gardevoir sucks, now we can print all these good psychic,
Psychic
Pokemon.
All right, so Metagross has the attack Rack Down, which does 60 damage. And then it has the attack Joint Beam for double psychic energy. It does 130 damage plus. If Beldum and Metang are on the bench, this attack does 150 more damage. So you're doing 280 for 2 energy. I think it's pretty decent. It's like a little complicated to get going because you have to have specific Pokemon in play. But like they're in the same line. 2 psychic.
2 psychics are a little weird.
I mean,
We need double rainbow.
Honestly, okay, I can see this actually being maybe a deck in Eternal with like the Gardevoir engine box.
There's a lightning Beldum too.
And you do the
It's
lightning
true.
Beldum and you do
Yeah.
Miraidon and you just
the Miraidon Rotom
that attack
Force
costs
is
good.
on it.
yeah, but no, honestly, like
Yeah.
you could easily build that kind of deck.
That's double rainbow pays for the cost.
Mm-hmm. And that's not bad. You could easily get the Beldum and Metang out.
You can even do Holland's Magneton.
Yeah, that's true.
That would also be a good attack cost
Mhm.
provider, yeah.
Like,
I think that's being good in
there's
Eternal.
actually so many ways that you could actually make this work in
Because
Eternal.
280 is not bad damage output.
No, it's quite good.
It's really good.
Yeah,
And especially on a one price or two for 2 energy.
yeah. And then you just play Life Dew to mess with people.
Yes.
Why do we keep talking about life, dude, man?
Because Lily's Pearl put it back in our brains.
It was on Outrun 4 of Lost Vacuums and Eternal.
Next up is in Sigilif. It has Psychic Spheres for a single Psychic Energy. That does 20 damage. And then for a Psychic Energy and 2 colorless energy, we have Victory Symbol. If you use this attack when you have only 1 prize card remaining, you win this game.
Is this a non-V-Stars
Yeah,
attack?
it is.
This is
Unknown
Unknown V-Stars.
Vs.
Unknown Vs, yes.
Um,
Wait, it's V's?
I literally
believe
just
it's
had
the
this
V.
as a one up in the end stack.
Yeah.
I just don't know that it's worth it.
I have it in there as a one up just for like the testing, but
I think it's
Do
fine
you-
as a one of.
Do you accelerate enough? Well, I mean, even with the
well, no, you
PPFs.
attack with Zord.
Yeah, you copy it with that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, you're copying it with Zord
You,
because
you ever tried?
my
ever tried to beat
my
you?
energy split on the ends deck is
1% at a time.
my energy split is 6 dark, 2 fire, 2 lightning.
Okay. Like, copy with Zor. Got it.
And the reason why my split's also 2 fire, 2 lightning is that way it also gives me the availability to attack with the Darmanitan, and then I could potentially also attack with Reshiram.
All right, up next is Lily's Ribombee. Lily's Ribombee has the ability Inviting Wink. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may have your opponent reveal their hand and put any number of basic Pokemon you find there onto their bench. I had such a temptation to like say instead like on evolution you may have your opponent like jump off a bridge, because when I was translating this for Poke Beach, I just about lost my mind. I'm like, really?
This card is tough.
Mawile again?
This is bad.
That's just such a nasty effect.
I'm not. Again, Lily is going to be super control-y archetype, just between the reducing price cards with the Pearl and throwing things on the bench that they don't want to be there and trapping them. There's a lot of control things right now that exist, and this is, I think, an issue.
Listen, that Frostlass deck from today.
Oh man, that would be ugly. Lily's Ribombee.
It's like it's the cute look before
It does only have
murders
70
you.
HP though, so it would hurt itself a lot.
Yeah, but so did Manaphy, and look how much Manaphy was actually mattering, kind of.
It got knocked out repeatedly.
Yeah, eventually.
After Lily's Ribombee is Lily's Comfey, which has the attack Flower Call for a single colorless energy. Search your deck for any number of basic Lily's Pokemon, put them onto your bench,
That's crazy.
then shuffle your deck. And then Fade Out for a single psychic energy does 30 damage. Put this Pokemon and all attached cards into your hand.
The first attack is literally reminds me of Pichu from Heart Gold Soul Silver.
It's very much similar to that. It's also kind of similar to Precious Carrier. Precious Trolley. What's the official English name? Trolley. Yeah.
I think it's worth it, like, as your setup for first.
Oh, you have so few Lily's Pokemon. I think you might as well.
Because honestly, I feel like you would use this over the trolley, and you would use your ace spec for something else instead of the trolley.
And
I-
put a pearl on it. It'll still decrease it, right? Like,
It would, but I think you're probably just swap it out. Go after your
'Cause
Clefairy.
I could honestly see,
And then-
Unfair Stamp being the thing for Lily.
So hear me out. Set up turn 1, put the pearl on it, right? If your opponent goes over it, turn 2, fade out, put the pearl back in, reuse the pearl.
How are you putting a pearl back in?
It says all cards attached to it, doesn't it?
It goes to your hand.
Oh, it's your hand. Well, reuse the pearl.
I mean, just don't play it down in the first place.
But you set up. Set up, and then the pearl's protecting it. There's 4 pearls. We got plenty of pearls.
Uh-huh. Up next, we have Mamoswine EX. Mamoswine EX has the ability Mammoth Carry. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then for double fighting, Rumbling March says 180 plus damage. This attack does 40 more damage for each stage 2 Pokemon on your bench.
Do we have a better way of putting stage 2 Pokemon into play?
I mean, you want to just spam. Was it Metagross?
Leaf
Lux
your
Ray?
own
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, again, it has the same problem. Stage 2, phenomenal ability.
The ability is good. The attack is decent. I just don't know that it's gonna be good enough because of that. The only thing that gives me hope is that the attack damage, base damage, is not bad.
If we see a little bit like, well like Kingdra, right? Like Kingdra bringing in different Like,
water Pokemon.
Yeah, like bringing in some stage 2s in there, stuff like that. Like if we have something to still do that, but at that point, why do you need the Mammothswine, right? If you already kind of set up your attackers and everything.
There's not like any stage 2 fighting types that just put themselves on the bench right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I mean, there's Luxray, right?
Luxray and I think
Luxray.
also Metagross.
There is a Metagross, but I think
Yeah.
the Metagross is rotating, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
if it's the one I'm thinking
I
of.
don't think so.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's a Scarlet and Violet one.
Nope, it's not. It's Subtempests.
Shit.
Yeah,
So it is
I mean,
rotating.
for all that deck needs to do is wait till it's flying on prices and throw 4 Luxray down.
Just
Or just run
Dust
Dust.
Clops.
Yeah, I was gonna say just run Dustclops.
Those clubs.
Cause like you could do Dustclops and then you could do like maybe.
Dust clubs is stage 1.
Yeah, but you're doing it
Well,
to like reduce.
well,
the
no. What
prices.
you do is you pop the Dustclops and then you drop the Luxrays.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, why would you not just do the Dust Norms?
Because then you have to spend more space for rare candies.
You're running it anyways. It's Mammothswine.
Yeah,
Alright.
and then what do we need it for anyway?
Up
The end,
next
what's
is
already happened.
Lycanroc with the ability Entangling Spikes. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve when your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach up to 2 Spike energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon.
I like it honestly, but there might be something there.
And then Grabbing Fangs for triple colorless. 40 plus damage. This attack does 40 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. That adds up quickly, but
Yeah.
to me, if anything, this would be a better version of the Arcanine, maybe. Although Arcanine does attack for free.
You
So
remember what I just got? Had to pick me up the other week.
I don't think Hop's Sandaconda is very good, frankly. Like I know it's a Hop's Pokemon, but I just don't think it's worth playing. Does anybody disagree with me?
It does damage to your own bench Pokemon, so I don't know why you'd use it.
And it doesn't do very much damage either. And the attack cost is awkward. I just don't see it being good. Cloth is not good, unfortunately.
Not that cloth.
Not that Cloth, no. Weezing is also not very good.
The Wooper art.
The Tyranitar is we're talking about. Tyranitar has the ability Daunting Gaze. While this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent can't play any item cards from their hand.
I love this card.
For Darkness Colorless, Crackling Stomp does 150 damage. Discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck.
I want to make this work.
Yeah.
I want to make this work so bad.
Me
Okay.
too.
Hear me out. Does this just seem like honestly just a better Hydreigon?
How?
Because
Nothing
you're
like
you're
Hydreigon.
well,
What do you
no,
mean
because
it's nothing like
because
Hydreigon?
you're doing 50 less damage than Hydreigon EX, but you're discarding 1 less card, but you're being able to
less
you're
prices.
You're
the
also
trade off
not-
is you're item locking them.
But you have no spread attack.
Do you need it? You're item locking. That's crazy.
Hydreigon EX doesn't spread attack.
I see what they're saying essentially,
do you
but
mean?
What do you mean
Obsidian.
it doesn't?
Have you read what Obsidian does?
Obsidian.
Oh, I forgot. I always forget about the Obsidian.
Well, that's kind of the thing also because we're essentially looking. He's looking at Hydreigon EX as that first attack and only that first attack. Obsidian is in Hydreigon for a reason. It's very easy to get to it. That's what makes it decent. This is just his own archetype. It's half of Hydreigon, reduced stats, but it gives up 1 price.
I just said Dark Patch is rotating when this exists.
Let's put a sticker with Hop's name on it.
I mean, Janine still exists, I suppose.
In's Purloin is barely worth talking about rather. It has the attack called Pilfer for Darkness Colorless. Does 20 damage. Your opponent reveals their hand. Put a card you find there on the bottom of your deck.
It's just weird that a couple of these Ends Pokemon are just basic and don't evolve.
It's because he doesn't have their evolutions on their team and his team.
Yeah.
I don't care about the canon. I really don't. I just want them to be full evolution lines.
Up next is In's Zoroark
Terrible
EX. Piss off.
Terrible card.
It has the ability Trade. You must discard a card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw 2 cards. And then for double darkness, Night Joker says, choose one of your benched ends Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. Dots from the peanut gallery.
I mean, you know my thoughts. I already called dibs on this when it was revealed.
It's very good. I hate that it's that good.
So, I mean, everybody knows me as a Mew player. I love Mew. This is literally Mew had a kid with Zord GX from Sun and Moon era.
Touchdown Legends specifically. I feel like it has to be good, honestly.
It's
How good we'll
so much
find out.
support, so much support around it. It's easily powered up in one turn thanks to a freaking PP up.
Yep.
Man, it's got a really decent amount of HP too, honestly.
280 is not bad. I mean, Zorak GX had what, 210? Like
Yeah.
plus 70.
When Mew VMAX had 310.
That was a three prizer.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I do want to talk about the Pangoro real quick.
Oh, what?
Why?
Torment. Honestly, there's a lot of like matchups where like you really only have one attack on them.
No.
I guess.
No.
No?
I'm sorry, no.
You think it's
Torment's
not
not
strong
a
enough?
Torment's not like an uncommon.
No,
attack,
because
I think.
there's still enough switch out options.
Can we talk about how sad it is that Ends Kling Kling sucks?
Yeah.
Like, it couldn't even be somewhat okay, it just had to completely suck.
Yeah.
When I was building it, I was like, I don't even want to put this in the
That's-
deck. I don't even want to waste ink on it.
Wow.
Magirna has the ability auto heal as long as this Pokemon is near. I'm like glitching. As long as this Pokemon is in your I can't talk. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, heal 90 damage from that Pokemon.
This can be really good.
This has seen play before.
Honestly,
This is insane.
Actually, I could see this potentially being played in a metal GLC tank deck.
Oh, for sure.
So, question: can't you essentially like again in any of the decks that have the Rain Dance Deluge ability just auto heal one energy healing 90?
I believe you have spotted it, sir.
I wish
That's
it didn't say
insane.
from hand because Archelion would smile at this.
Yeah, I mean, it can still smile.
I mean, I'm just saying, like you could literally heal every turn usually.
I mean, that's assuming you're not getting one shot.
Yeah.
Plus, if it, it's steel, so.
Pikachu?
What did you do?
Yeah.
You just do? No. You need to do. Flood the energy on there with Manga Zone and this in play. Heal whatever it is off, or like Copper Roger or something. Energy reset.
Yeah.
And just do it until you're full.
So
Do it until you.
Who needs max potion? You have Magirna.
Yeah.
yeah. So again, Pikachu.
It's
Maybe
one
I,
of three.
maybe I can make it work on Pikachu.
Pikachu.
You turn
Pikachu.
board on that bad boy.
Next is Hops Corviknight, which I don't think is that good either, but we'll do a sanity check here with the audience. Hops Corviknight has a tech called Shoot Through, which does 50 damage. This attack also does 50 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. And it has Steel Wing for Metal Colorless. That does 150 damage during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes 60 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance.
The Squire doesn't exist, right?
So-
It's only Rickety to Corviknight.
No,
It's
they're
stage
all
one,
there.
right?
They're all there.
When do we get Lily's Tinkaton to just murder
Well, it
this
doesn't
thing?
have a Tinkaton, so.
These characters have canonical.
But am I
canonical
wrong in
teams.
thinking this card is just bad?
Again, stage 2. That was kind of my point.
That's
making
the
it.
problem. Like if this were even a stage 1, I'd be like, okay, maybe.
I mean, the first attack seems okay for the sheer amount of buffs it's going to get to its damage output, but.
But
that's
it's still
about it.
stage 2.
Because the buffs don't apply to the bench, right?
No,
No,
Yeah,
they
no.
don't.
the base damage is.
Yeah, stage 2.
I don't know how much like the total damage buff is
It's like
at max.
90 or 120, I think. Because we
It's a
have
lot.
the band, the stadium, Lax.
double.
Who we have?
Well,
Double is not one.
Oh, I thought he buffed too.
Double is the Gust.
Oh,
So it's the stadium for damage and stuff.
The
Obviously,
stadium, the band.
he attacks for free because of
and
the
Lax.
ban.
So was it just 90? Or am I forgetting something else?
I don't know the exact numbers.
Okay, the band, the stadium.
I thought the double buff too, but it's not.
I think it's defensive. That one's defensive.
No, it's Gust.
Oh, it's got. Sorry.
Hopzashit EX has Close Cleave, which does 30 damage. This deck also does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance. Why not?
There's no reason to play the Corviknight if this awesome is.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Corviknight's terrible. This is
I didn't
bad.
realize that it also did big damage.
And then for Brave Flash is Metal Colorless. It does 240 damage during your next turn. This Pokemon can't use Brave Slash.
So just reset.
But 240 plus 90 is 310. That's fairly good. That 330,
pretty
not
much
310.
knocks out anything in almost anything in the format.
But yeah, 330 is pretty freaking good.
Maybe that's why we do that. Everybody needs to be playing Ludicrous.
We're moving to a Mammal Swine format. Though.
But so here's the thing: how do you power that up though? Because you don't have energy acceleration for that, so you have to run what? Do you have to run Matang and Hop with Hop?
Well, Hop at least reduces the ban, reduces it for one, right?
Yeah, but that just takes it to metal.
No, yeah,
Do you just- Well,
do
do you just use close cleave with the buffs?
And do 120 and 30. That seems low damage output.
for free?
For free.
It's still low
Yeah,
damage
but why
output.
would-
Hey, you're KOing Chum.
Hey! Matang.
Did he not hear me earlier? Or
No, I didn't.
I was saying Archelion, but yeah.
our child on work too.
Yeah.
Up next is Salamence EX, which has Wide Blast or Fire Double Colorless. This attack does 50 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Don't apply weakness or resistance for benched Pokemon. And for Fire Water Double Colorless, you have Dragon Impact, which does 300 damage. And you discard 2 energy from this Pokemon.
Is it bad when we have to say that 300 damage isn't enough?
You know, the thing is, I think it's still not that bad of a card.
Lily or Rostus?
Lily would absolutely murder this, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think it's an okay card.
Womp womp.
Could be worse. Next up is In's Reshiram. For Fire Lightning, we have Powerful Rage, which does 20 times damage. This attack does 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. And then for Fire Lightning Colorless, Virtuous Flame does 170. How are we feeling about In's Reshiram?
It do be a Dargon.
Is it me, or does it feel like it's like the main attacking card for In?
It is. Well, it's the main
It's
copy
the copy.
target.
This is the main copy
Yeah.
target.
Is
yes.
it just copying the 170? Because like, how are
you initially copy the 170, and then when you get damaged, you do the outrage attack essentially.
I mean,
Sure.
I
two
don't
hit-
feel
two-
like the
two-
the Zoroark has enough HP that's gonna happen all the time.
280?
Well, okay. So
280 is
the-
so easy to hit nowadays.
well, no,
No.
the thing that I basically said is like usually on the low end, most stuff is hitting for about like anywhere between usually about 200 to about 240 range.
Are we
So
moving away
it-
from it?
I'm going.
Good.
So when it hits for that, they're not knocking out the Zork. You are going to return hit into them for over 400 damage. You are
Right.
going to kill them before they kill you.
That's
But
assuming
most
that,
of the things that aren't doing enough damage to one shot it are single prizers.
like I said, that's assuming again two things. Number one, that you're attacking before they are. Number two, that they can't hit the damage for 280, which I think a lot of decks can
The
still
only-
do it even
yeah.
after rotation.
The only decks that aren't going to be doing it consistently are like Ancient Box, and which that's a single prize matchup that you're not going to trade well into.
I feel like this.
Plus, the Koraidon's a fighting type, and it's going to hit you for weakness.
I feel like that's the weakness of this deck. Like literally,
don't
what is it copying?
It just feels like all
Wait,
of the
what
edge
is-
Pokemon attacks aren't. good
Zork's
enough.
not weak to fighting.
What is it weak to?
Grass.
Oh, grass. I'm so used to Dark being weak to fighting. Then still, it's not trading well.
I feel like 280 is still a really easy reachable number after rotation.
Yeah, it is.
Up next, we start the Hop train. Hop Snorlax has the ability Big Belly. The attacks of your Hop Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance.
They're
The effect of Big Belly does not stack. Then Hop Snorlax has the attack Dynamic Press for triple colorless, which does 140 damage. This Pokemon also does 80 damage to itself.
Did we count this one
What do you mean, did we count this
on,
one?
on the buffs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we counted the stadium, the belt, and Snorlax.
Okay. So yeah, 90
I mean, it's
plus 90.
what one
So
or two
for
of them
2
are
energy,
hits.
you're doing 170 minimum.
I don't think this is an attacker, but yeah.
Because I say 2, I guess it would be 2 energy. You're doing 200 minimum, right? Because in order to get down to 2 energy, you're having the band in
Yeah.
there, and that's also plus 30. I don't know. It
It's
seems
not
decent.
Yeah, it's not a bad attacker, but I think it's just mostly support more than anything.
shudder to think what this will do to GLC. Sentient Inverter, cute, but unfortunately not very playable. Dunsparce EX, that should be Dunsparce EX, not Dunsparce. Or Dunsparce, rather. Adversity Tail does 60 times damage. It does 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX. And then Drill Break does 150. This damage is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. How do you think?
That first attack is the Roaring Moon killer. Or not Roaring Moon, the Roaring Raging Bolt.
Do we need Shred right now? Is there
I mean,
anything?
Sylveon just got printed.
Sure, Sylveon, Mimikyu still exists. Cornerstone. There's reasons. And since you can play this as a one-of index, they're running the Dunsparce draw engine anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a bad card.
The Dunsparce strong just too high.
It's very good, yeah.
And you should pick as many of those as you can right now.
And then up next we have Noivern with Tuning Echo. If you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, ignore all energy and the cost of this Pokemon's Panic Howl attack. Panic Howl does 110 and confuses the opponent's active Pokemon.
We have Judge in format.
We do. Kamala also exists. Unfortunately, she lost. Oh, wait. Anyway, Good Night Knocking does 30 damage. Both active Pokemon are now asleep. During your next turn, your attacks used by this Pokemon do 100 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance.
Is it specifying that specific active Pokemon or just the active Pokemon?
That Pokemon. So the Kamala that uses the attack. It's not that great, but it could be fun in niche formats like GLC. And let's see here. Bops Rookity and Corvus Squire do exist. Hop's Double is the GOAT.
You're not wrong.
Well, I mean, I am technically right. He's on a GOAT, but
he's a goat sheep.
he's a GOAT sheep.
Play a 1/1?
More than 1/1 probably. This card should see play in more than just Hop's decks.
Yeah.
It has the ability Challenge Horn. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. This is a single prize Gust.
How much HP does the Wooloo have?
The Wooloo has 70. This card is extremely good.
The
Hop's Double is absolutely going to see play.
The double is just out of Fan Rotom range, though.
That's definitely intentional.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But yeah.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, Wooloo having 70 HP, that's good.
Yeah, the double is so good though. This is yet another sign to me that maybe Boss might go. Which would also be another sign that Versicker could come back.
Bosses, yeah.
Then we have Hop's Cramorant, which does Fickle Spit for 120. If your opponent doesn't have exactly 3 or 4 prize cards remaining, this deck does nothing. So 210 for nothing.
This reminds me of like Ultra Beast shenanigans back in the day. I don't think it's bad.
It's Buzzwole. It's Baby Buzz.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It's not bad. I think it's good.
And that is it for all of our cards that we're getting out of Journey Together from battle partners that are worth looking at. Hopefully you all enjoyed our little look and discussion at some of these cards for Standard, Eternal, GLC, and 345 formats. But with that said, leave your comments in the comment section. What cards are you looking forward to? What cards do you think are a little underwhelming? Let us know. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.